Main character spending $50 to talk to his teacher. What a guy. It's like not even doing maid work. She does do maid work. She said she actually does do maid work, but it's like, nah, main character loves living in filth. That's just kind of his whole steez.
Does he have depression, or is he just a non-entity and he just feels like if he had too much character with his...
He is a plate of mashed potatoes with no gravy. But at the same time, it's like, you know, at first I was thinking that this was just going to be another excuse for people to talk about how delicious this plate of mashed potatoes is.
Well,
but I don't know. He did just pay $50 just to talk to his teacher.
Well, he didn't even put like the garnish on there, like, you know, like some herbs with basil or something.
A little bit of rosemary.
Yeah. Rosemary's good for potatoes.
Garlic especially.
Ooh, I think I want some of this.
We talked about food in the last few episodes.
That's true.
We stop doing that every single time too.
Well,
by the way, you were thinking of NOS. The energy drink was NOS.
Oh.
You know, like a nitrous oxide canister. That's
Okay.
the one with the crazy cap on it. That's the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
Well, anyway, main character never showed any sort of earnestness or sense of justice when it came to the standing up to Kamoshida. He just got harassed by him constantly, which is what Kamoshida does to everybody because he was a horrible person. Anyway, we got that out of the way. I did that bit. We killed 20 more seconds. So yeah, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more out of the Kawakami plot line. Even ground up all those guts, and it's just like, let's just skip class because I'm just very... Because talking to you is depressing.
Like, she's just, I don't even want you in my class. But I guess you'll have to.
She didn't. That was, I mean, it's like, you know, from Kawakami's perspective, it's like, God, it's just like, you want to do as much for this guy as you can. Yeah. She doesn't know about the whole Phantom Thieves thing.
I think he pulled off so many crimes while attending school.
Yeah, Najima, this is getting the logic you're using as to these confidants is getting more and more tenuous with time. After like the Torinosuke one, I didn't think that we were going to get any more of like, oh, you had to be talking with a very charismatic person. It's like, no.
You had to be a criminal mastermind, and then it just like flashes.
You must have been paying off your teachers, which actually.
It's funny because he didn't really pay her off. She's like kind of saying like, oh, you know, what am I doing here with one of my students? You made the decision to come.
What is this, by the way?
A very poor decision all around.
It's you know, once again talking about how good some of the social links are. This is exactly as awkward as it should be.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's not, even though they're obviously not doing anything untoward. Like, why are they going in? I mean, they're going into the attic alone.
Why did she put on the full uniform with the hair and everything?
She knew where she was going.
Yeah, which was the attic of a coffee shop to meet with her sad student
who is on probation, who has a criminal record, and
you know, everything. It is, like I said, if you don't know about the Phantom Thieves thing, it's like, oh man, poor main character. But if you do, then you're like, I hate this main character.
You didn't even do any work. No offense, like she didn't do work upstairs other than the emotional work of caring for him. So
she had to be here.
Honestly,
so you know what? That's fine.
This is probably like
that's a thumbnail for the episode.
I went to the doctor's office today, and that's all I can do in a day. I'm wiped out after that. So I totally understand. She's over the hill. It sucks.
Yeah, they had to exhume her from the crypt so that she could go to her job here. I mean, there's not too many other maids that you'll see that are over 16 years old.
Man, this is so weird. She's like kind of escorted. Like, you can skip class, but you better not let your grades drop. And I really feel bad for you, but you better study. You better get good grades on your...
Look, she's trying.
Yeah.
Again, like I keep saying, it's like, from the perspective of somebody outside, it's like, the main character's having it pretty rough.
She shouldn't have even tried, though. She should have done it in a public space.
She shouldn't be doing this in the first place, but I mean, that's the same thing that I was talking about last episode, where it's like, Kawakami is also not a great teacher, but in different ways. Also, hey, we got the factory. Fast food workers apparently are being targeted by the whole like mental shutdown dealio.
Oh.
At least that's what it seems like they're implying there. I mean, you remember there was that one guy that was cooking naked a couple episodes ago? I don't even know.
Mm.
But apparently that was plot relevant. That was not just a flavor story.
Wow.
What do you call those? Personal interest stories? What?
I'm sorry. I was struck by how strikingly relevant.
Oh, wait, we are far into that point. Expect it to get way worse from here.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, hey, it's only like a 10-day time limit. They can only force us to do so much. That said, this is the first day of investigation, so if you're expecting anything to happen, even if something does happen, it's like the Phantom Thieves will just ignore it like the Madarame saga, so...
Well, as I said before, when it comes to this game, I expect nothing, and I'm often disappointed.
And I was saying this to you before we even started up the episodes. Like, you just gotta lay back and let the game do what it does, because it's gonna go at its own pace.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go at the pace of logic or normal storytelling rules or anything like that. Things are gonna happen when they happen and not any earlier.
Yeah, which is why this is such a lucrative podcast we've stumbled on.
Oh, if only people actually listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
We could, and you know, I chose to monetize it too, but you know, hey. It's all just, you know, it's been a little while since I've said this, but real conversations by real people. Bringing it up again.
Yep.
Thankfully, we also live in Tokyo where these are the most naive high school students of all time.
I feel like it's not Tokyo. I feel like it's a Persona writers writing teenagers badly.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I just like to think that these characters, you know, were just literally 3D printed out here, and they are like discovering the world for the first time. Like at the start of the day, you get like a fresh, short black-haired guy with glasses and longer-haired, kind of brown-haired guy.
You know, I just realized this game makes a lot more sense if you think of, yeah.
I think this game makes a lot. I was actually thinking about that. Speaking of which is like this game makes a lot more sense if you think of these guys not being high school students, but being like salarymen, the Persona writing team, basically.
Oh shit! That's funny you say that. Okay, because what I was gonna
is that what you're gonna say?
No. What I was gonna say is this whole plot makes a lot more sense if we think of them as being like 10 or 11.
Yeah, that's true too.
How are those both true?
I don't know, man. I think that, you know, like, your uncool square dad who doesn't know anything about, like, drugs or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, a very small child.
But yeah, I was going to say, but, like, they don't seem to understand, like, abusive interpersonal relationships unless it's just beaten over the head.
Well, yeah.
I know it's not a joke, but it's kind of a weird phrasing. But anyway.
That's what it is, though. And not only it's just like all the naivety and like the sort of insularness. It's like, hey man, your dad goes to work 9 to 5. Maybe he'll watch sports on the TV, and it's like he doesn't know anything about like social media or whatever. So yeah, he thinks like, you know, the web page. Everybody's gonna go to the web page when he makes it.
So basically, okay, so this is like a mystery.
Or you're 10 years old and you just think that if you make a web page, that everybody's gonna want to come to it.
This because, it's a Mr. Show sketch where David Cross is a kid and Bob Odenkirk is a salaryman. I think we that's what it is.
Yes.
And they're humorously trying to solve crimes together, and neither of them really knows anything about drugs. And so
we have referenced so many Mr. Show sketches that I think that's the only conclusion that you could possibly make at this point in time.
Yeah.
Also, hey, yeah, that's actually a good point, Morgana. People are being like way more proactive now that they're being extorted into being forced to go after a target. Good for you guys? Big question mark. You know, it actually took me a very long time to find this guy again. You might remember from the Madarame saga. You'd think he would have a name, considering that he's been a pretty regular character compared to some other dudes.
Hasn't he shown up in both the Kamoshida and Madarame sagas?
I think it was just the Madarame saga. He was talking about how one of his friends was a former Madarame pupil.
Oh, okay.
So it's like,
And we didn't
why is
follow
this
up.
guy still just homeless man?
Yeah, that's right. I remember because we didn't follow up with him, even though he's like that's a great lead. Like,
Well, you gotta remember this. They do give some sort of lip service about how we're helping out the victims of whoever the villain du jour is, but the only thing we really get to see is them getting punished on television.
I hope that guy turns out to be like Kaiser Soze right now. He just stands up.
I would love that.
Yeah, he just says, "Now, my palace."
No, I created the palaces. I know exactly. That's why I was so happy to help you, even though I pretended to be all like, "Oh, well, you don't want to go after the mafia."
Yeah. At the same time,
that was okay. Okay, like straight up, that actually did kind of happen in Persona 4.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I'm not gonna say anything more. I mean, I know that even way at the start of the series, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna let loose with the spoilers," but I'm not gonna go too hard into it.
I guess it's a Kaiser Soze. It's also the Saw guy, and also just the last.
His name is Jigsaw.
Our last two neurons firing like just random things because we can't think of anything to talk about.
Just connections are being made, much like in this video game. Yeah. Hey, do you remember when we met a reporter back in the Madarame saga that was just kind of like awkwardly Oh, what am I even saying? We're talking about Persona 5. Awkwardly shoehorned in is just how it works.
It's one big awkward shoehorn.
Things just happen when they happen and not any earlier.
It's kind of like a dream logic in that everything is connected, and if you pay any attention to it, it all falls apart immediately.
I mean, one could say dream logic. One could say maybe the Persona writers are 10-year-olds.
Yeah, this is what they think high schoolers are like. Because it's like, oh yeah, high schoolers, what happens when they run into drugs? I bet they're like...
Oh, thank God. It was like 10 minutes since something extremely sleazy happened. Now we find some guy trying to recruit people for pornography.
It's not been 10 minutes. It's been like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, to be fair, we also do contribute to that somewhat.
Morgana.
But I mean, that should be nothing new on this channel.
It doesn't have anything to do with drugs. It must not be him.
Yeah, who could make money on the internet with videos?
Yeah.
Not us, because it's not monetized. But you know.
That's disgusting.
I have other videos.
That's true.
You don't get a cut of those ones. You should be showing up on the streams. That's what.
That's true.
Makoto, it's you. Why are you stalking me?
Well, yeah.
That's Yoshizawa's thing.
I don't do this for the money though. I do this for I don't know. I don't even like this game.
Don't think about it too hard, because otherwise you're gonna stop doing it. Hey, this is convenient.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's like a dream. You can't get out. The top is still spinning.
Yeah, I mean, this is that whole thing where it's just like, is this game just a self-parody at this point? Because Makoto feels like she might as well barrel the camera and been like, eh? Of course.
Do you mean that of suspicious materials?
I mean,
no.
This, like, even when Ryuji isn't here, it's great that we now have a Ryuji 2.0 to fuck up anytime we have an actual lead.
In the English version, this guy says broad a bunch of times. Like, hey, broad, what's your deal, broad?
This is the English version.
You're a funny...
Well, I mean, this is not the English version game, but it's like this is the English script.
It's like sub-vocal.
Oh, okay, yeah. More of an affectation. Yeah.
I'm walking here. I'm a mobster from some combination of Miami and Brooklyn.
I mean, I want to say that might be... I don't...
Is this trick Cuban?
I have no idea.
Hawaiian, Italian, nobody knows.
Why is he wearing a Hawaiian shirt? I was running through all the possibilities in my mind, and I'm just like, why is he... Wait, is it supposed to be like a, There was definitely some movie where somebody wore a Hawaiian shirt a lot as a mobster, right?
I feel like there's also like they wear Cuban... I don't know if it's like Cuban shirts. I'd have to look this up, but I
mean, I know like Vice City had that sort of thing
going
on
that's kind of what I was thinking.
But maybe it was Scarface.
Or like the Godfather.
I mean, considering that those very heavily based on that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Makoto fucked it up, and now they're just like, that guy was clearly who we're looking for, but well, we don't have enough proof.
Yeah, no wonder the police are having trouble catching him. Does anyone have like a recorder? If you have like a recorder on your phone, you could probably fix this.
Oh, no, but I can carry this cat around with me everywhere.
Like,
Takes up too much space.
like have the cat hold the recorder.
No, the cat's farting too much in the bag. It breaks it.
Or just like get a a pocket, like put it in your put your phone in.
Anyway, let me just take my phone out.
Yeah.
Just talk to everybody here.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Anyway, I found a mobster. He was kind of ridiculous. It's like Goodfellas just 3D print. It's like somebody fed Goodfellas into the 3D printer for one of the NPCs. But anyway, we didn't get any information because, like I said, this is the first investigation, and you never get information on the first investigation.
dude, it's muscle hour.
That is a shockingly accurate translation from the Japanese version.
Yeah, sounds just like Ryuji. I don't have any problem with that. Like, I really I want to just talk to Ryuji more. I want to talk to these high schoolers.
I mean, we can do that, yeah, but like, there's a lot of confidants in the game that I want to be going through. New phone, who dis? Oh. Like, well,
What did you do?
I don't know. She was there for emotional support. as the main character always does, but everybody loves him. He definitely has some sort of magical glamour that forces people to love him, right?
Is that true? Like, do you think that is? Like
No.
Okay.
I was just saying that because I thought it sounded absurd.
He's like like the 12th man on the bench in like basketball or something. He's just a warm body in the paint. Soaks up 15 minutes.
But he's also considered the MVP. Also, for everything they don't explain in this game, it's great that we're getting a very extremely in-depth explanation as to why Makoto has my number. This was the priorities game. But Morgana, shut up.
Why do we need to?
What are you?
Determine if
You don't. This is not like. Do you even? Oh boy.
All we know is that she's thorough. It doesn't say anything about her character, good or bad. It's just.
Did she dislikes us? But no, the game is just—it's gonna happen when it happens. You can't. We can't get mad at this game anymore. It's just, it knows it. It's mocking itself at points.
Well, we're getting in the crossfire of being mocked. That's what I'm upset about.
Yeah, they usually take several weeks to get to anything. Don't worry about it.
As a professional detective, one thing I like to do is tell everyone exactly where I am with the case. I guess it does make some sense. Like maybe he's probing, maybe he's got a suspicion.
Well, you do have to remember too that he does know about the metaverse and everything, and I think he's specifically targeting. Well, I don't know. How could he possibly know the main character? Because everybody knows that the game just works in the way it works. You can't question it.
That's true.
But the one thing is clear is that he does in fact know about the metaverse. So maybe he just straight up knows who all the Phantom Thieves are, and he's specifically targeting the main character to kind of like needle him about it. Hoping that he says something more incriminating. Maybe to confirm his suspicions. Maybe he's just toying with him. A deadly game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, it's pretty boring though. Like for a deadly game of cat and mouse, like he could have.
We are watching Persona 5.
He could have been a lot more clever about that.
Dude could have done a lot. A lot of.
Could have given you like a side eye. Well, hey, if you know anything, and just like, and not winked, but just like kind of, here's my card, and just like handed you his card as he walked away.
Maybe you could give him his own calling card. That would probably. Well, straight up, like, main character would probably just quit being Phantom Thief at that point if anybody was just like, I know it's you.
Well, I mean,
Al Pacino style.
If he handed him his card, he's like, oh, so you can see this? That's interesting. Huh. Well, anyway, I'll be seeing you. Like, that would have been...
Okay, well, he's not trying to give it. Again, much like you're the worst mobster of all time. You're also the worst, Kolchak the Night Stalker, because this isn't really normal detective work, you know?
Well, it's never normal.
Not when you're on the hard streets of Persona 5 Shibuya.
Not on this beat, kid.
Well, anyway, I do like being in the karaoke bar. I do hope we see more of this, but will it? Will it shut him up? Or will he just be like, oh, okay, so I guess fantasies are real. Time to needle him more.
Are they gonna do like their song that's like making the rounds because of Mishima? Like, we are the Phantom Thieves.
That would be
Change.
You know, there is a spin-off for this. Well, there is a spin-off for actually most of the Persona games that is a rhythm game. Yes, this is a real thing. And it's like that wouldn't be out of character, but no. Unfortunately.
Do you actually do like a mini game where you're singing?
That would be more of like a Yakuza thing, which would be pretty great. Boy, wouldn't it be fun to be playing Yakuza right now?
Yeah.
I wonder what Kiryu is up to.
And we abruptly stopped and we just start doing Yakuza like we've been doing it all along.
There was a point during the Kamoshida saga where I almost considered doing that as a joke with Danganronpa, so...
It's almost the same.
Yeah, Yakuza's a pretty fun game. Also made by Sega, so, you know, that's a thing.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I suppose this is made by Sega, it's published by Sega, but, you know, it's not quite the same thing.
Also, look at that public phone on the wall, and it's like a huge, like, wireless phone from, like, 2000.
See, that's why I say that it's like, we should be seeing these characters as being, like, 40-year-old nerdy dads.
Yeah.
In other words, me. I am the main character. But I'm not out of touch. I'm only out of time.
Yeah, I listened to the newest music. Yeah, I heard the new Bob Dylan album.
People are saying that he's back to being unplugged again. No, I don't know. What am I even talking about?
He had a good Christmas album a couple of years
I was going to say something about like him playing the electrical guitar, but then I'm like, no, wait, he didn't normally do that.
Yeah, he famously played the electric guitar. I mean, I brought him up.
Yes, I know. I'm aware of Mr. Robert Zimmerman's oeuvre. Anyway, back in the... Do you think, like, Sai in the future is just adding to the story in this way? Because there's no way the main character could possibly be talking about this.
What?
Remember, there's a framing story for this game?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Your inability to remember any of the characters' names or the greater events that are happening in the course of this is amazing, considering how repetitive and terrible it is.
Listen, that is all definitely true, but I just didn't hear you.
Oh. Well, I guess I can't really argue about that, considering that, my audio for you is coming through a television, maybe 5 meters away from me, and I usually keep it kind of quiet.
Is that true? I feel like that might be true.
No, it's not untrue.
Okay. Well, I mean, originally when you called me, take 0, we didn't even do take 1. Like, you sounded like you were going through a flanger. Like, it was like a really weird, like, robot effect. Like, if you've seen The Matrix.
Yeah, you didn't seem to like it, so I didn't continue on for the video. I thought it could be like a fun bit where I like pretend to be an alien, and I'm like, this is the most important media of all time for humanity, correct?
Oh yeah. It would be like if you're in Daft Punk or something. It'd be pretty cool. Yeah, we decided.
Well, yeah, that would be very cool if I was in Daft Punk.
Oh yeah,
but
that'd be the cool.
We all know that's not going to happen.
It'd be so cool that you would immediately stop doing the personas. No.
Look, if they would ever answer my letters, I've sent in so many applications. But maybe someday.
Well,
they're making a new Tron.
What was that? Oh wow,
They're making a new Tron.
That's surprising.
And apparently they are going to have Daft Punk in that again. So
hell
that's I don't know. I didn't watch Tron Legacy, so and also the last time I watched Tron was when I was younger than we think these characters are. So yeah. I mean, I guess I just am excited for more Daft Punk music. What can I say?
I think this guy, Yusuke, is actually doing a good job with, like, just, yeah, that's how pretentious high schoolers talk. I mean, that is realistic. Yeah.
Oh, great, it's Ida again. Didn't we, like... You know what? We should go, like, leak this information for this guy. You think I had it bad, Ida. What do you think is gonna... Yeah? Yeah, exactly. Main character could not possibly know about this conversation, but I do, and I'm controlling him. Well, I don't really know what the point of the scene is, to be honest. Wait, Ida, did you just come in here to insult literally everybody that's tried to help you? What is wrong with you? So throw him in the trash and 3D print out another Ida.
I just need some of these drugs that they're selling. I'm sorry if that breaks any laws, but I know buying from a teenager is really suspect too. But like, I really need some drugs.
Hey, he wasn't selling them. He was just a mule.
That's true.
Not that he would know what that term even means because he's 10 years old. Oh yeah, there's the guys that are robbing restaurants with the name Phantom Thieves. That's a side mission, so for some reason, you'd think that would have more of a impact on the story because of how everybody's a rumor monger. And could you imagine what this game would be like if they just said, okay, we can't have the next plot point involve rumors in any way? It's just like, I would just imagine that the entire writers team would just dissolve into goop.
Well, they would just use Tusk instead.
Oh, okay.
That's the second time.
That's maybe the superior album.
That's the second time we've referenced that in this. It was like 15 episodes ago or something.
We have problems with too small of a reference pool.
We do, yeah.
Clearly, next time we're going to have to...
Yeah, I mean...
start referencing something else. Whatever, hey, it's Takemi again.
We're kind of a Deadpool, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know. We're really...
Tell me more, Wade Wilson. No, that was it. Okay, fine.
I'm not doing...
You keep trying to start things, and Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? There we go. Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to make that work in there, and it didn't really do. But
yeah, it's like nothing comes out when you move your lips, just a bunch of gibberish. I don't know. We're really stretching our ability to...
Hey, we only got 7 minutes left. Oh, God. I made this episode too long.
Oh.
I was really considering not including the Takemi part, but I decided to anyway because I'm like, maybe we can maybe we can go through what's, to be honest, kind of a pretty uninteresting confidant link.
We just have 7 minutes left, and then we're done with the whole game. And then 60,000 more episodes.
Look, nobody tell him. I don't want to destroy his morale this much.
There's no end.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, I had to cough there for a second.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're coughing a lot these days, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's flu season.
Well,
no, hay fever season.
I just gotta say, I want to say I gotta thank you though for like taking your mouth and putting it into that aside so it wasn't pointing at me. So.
Yes. Well, anyway, you're describing lupus, Takemi. So,
Mm-hmm.
This is
never lupus.
Absolutely. I want to... Okay, so here's the thing. I'm of two minds about this particular conversation that we got going on right now, which is basically either she is super lying. None of this is true, because this makes no sense. This is your great sin. Developing, because we all know that developing drugs for very niche illnesses, as well. No, I suppose I'm thinking about it right now. Remember, in the '90s, how like every piece of media referenced Lorenzo's oil?
No, I don't.
I watched a lot of The Critic, just a short time ago, and it's like, man, they really thought that was going to be like one of the most important movies of the '90s, didn't they? So it's like maybe there is something to like developing cures for illnesses that affect a small amount of people, but then like becoming worldwide famous and rich for that. Well, anyway, this entire story makes no goddamn sense at all. So I'm either thinking that Takemi's lying, because after all, she is incredibly immoral, or Persona 5 is a bad game. And I'm just like, oh man.
Well,
of those two choices, one seems much more likely than the other.
See, the thing is, why is this lie so boring? I guess is what I would say.
Because because like when we actually find out what it is, you can understand why she would be why she was trying to downplay it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would really understand how bad of a person she is.
Mm-hmm.
Or Persona 5 is a bad game, and it's like, man,
we're so nice.
One of those is way more likely than the other.
Yeah, it's funny because like it seems like when things are happening, we're too distracted by that to notice the plot problems or whatever. Jesus, 4 minutes still. Yeah,
okay. Don't tell the people at home. We're not trying to seem like we're just counting down the time here. They can't see when I'm mousing over the video to see how much time is left.
I mean, here's the problem I have with this story is that it's the kind of story that's really boring, but it might be interesting if you draw it out, if you've got an engaged main character. Like I'm not that interesting, but if somebody starts telling their story, I can usually draw out the most interesting parts of it because I ask good questions and I listen. And I feel like you're not allowed to do that with your chat.
No, You literally get. I mean, I said that with that last episode where it's just like I want to put up like main characters dialogue alongside Yusuke's because it's like, boy, would it be interesting if it wasn't just a Greek chorus basically style of storytelling right now.
Also, she shouldn't call him guinea pig affectionately. That's not cute at all. That's not
Oyamada. Or what is it? No. What did she call him?
Guinea pig?
Minamoto? Morimoto?
Oh.
Oyamada's the guy that she didn't like because he did I don't know. I mean, it's just this story is so unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Also, you're apparently the only test subject. Is that right? Like she's
yeah, for this for a drug treatment for a disease that I do not have.
Mm-hmm.
Persona writers understand medicine as well as they understand politics. They're trying though. I'll give them that.
I think your theory that they must be the dads, and they like. I think what you're talking about is exactly right. They're like maybe moms and dads who are in their like,
nerdy moms and dads.
And they think they're writing a game about high schoolers because they don't understand that their kids are actually already into drugs and sex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're very naive or they're just like, no, this is what it was like when I was a kid.
Yeah, we'd call the teacher and she'd dress up as a maid and she'd tell us we could take the whole week off.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know what the writers' high school experiences were like.
Completely platonic and normal back then.
Okay, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe I just imagined that happened, but I wanted to put it in the game anyway. Yeah, whatever. I don't even know why we're bothering bringing Ryuji. It's like, much like having, I just made the comparison with like Makoto being Ryuji 2.0 earlier. It's like, why? Well, hey, if the game deigns to have this be the point where things actually happen, it will happen. I keep saying this to myself. Why do I keep talking myself out of this? As if things are going to suddenly start. I mean, I guess I'll say this. The game is better as of recently. It's not good, but
I think
it's better.
Episodes have been fine. It's one of those things where when things are happening, when they're actually moving the main plot along, or they're actually advancing they're doing interesting side plots, it's fine.
I don't know. When we got the side plots, there's some fun stuff there, but it's like the main plot is still as terrible as ever. It just feels more self-aware.
Well, it's just okay. So this is a real thing, like in bureaucracy, in work, in school, in life. There's this thing called box checking, where people will, this is how some of the writing feels like. Like this whole episode has felt like, okay, we gotta check off this box so that we can, finish it, just for the sake of checking off the box. And so it's pretty joylessly written. It's not very thoughtful or clever. It's just, well, we have to do, I guess he has to have a conversation with his teacher. We haven't done that in a while. That's a social link. So I guess let's have her come over in a maid's outfit. I don't know. And I mean, it wasn't like motivated by some great love of telling his story. And it was just done to check off a box. And that's unfortunate, but it's the reality.